Hi and welcome back to Inspiring Creative Women. My name is Katherine Elizabeth and this is video number 5 of the 7-day video challenge. I just wanted to ask you if there's anything else you really want to learn or know about, and we'll put that into the next 2 videos. Okay, and today I'm going to be talking for you designers out there just a little bit about creating and how to create your own pieces, or just to give you a bit of help and tell you what I do and to see if that would actually assist you and help you with your creations. What I do is when I start off, I might have ideas in my head which I want to put down, so we might sketch those out, but really just to get them out onto paper. But really you want to start looking at predictions, and you want to look at different inspirations. So you want to look at predictions to actually see what's happening and what colours are in. You know, if it's going to be like African art or flowers or different themes that are happening, maybe beach themes really in that year. But there's going to be so many different themes that you could pick one and then stick with that, and then you could pick say 3 colours or 4 colours you want to work with. There's going to be loads of colours that are going to be in. There could be poppy bright colours or they could be pastel colours, so you just go with what you feel is good for you for that season. I design twice a year, but I really love summer the best because that's when I can just all go crazy and make big hats. So you can decide, you know, if you want to make 2 collections a year, if you want to do 4, or if you just want to do your 1. So you get that, so you get your collections. Those are going to be from things like Pinterest. You can get them from, that's brilliant, because otherwise you have to pay a trend company to actually give you the predictions, and that can cost you quite a few £1000s. But if you're like me, a milliner, you can leave it a little bit later, and then things start coming out online. There's also a Trendspotter, I think, is another website which later on they'll give you a couple of sort of trends and boards that are out there that you could use. But Pinterest, now it's out, it's just absolutely brilliant. So you go there and you start, and I've just got one here as an example from Pinterest. So this was last year, obviously it's all the bright colours, but this is really in, isn't it? This sort of rainforest look, which I love, and so I wanted to put that into hats. And also you've got the softer colours as well, but this is just everywhere, and everywhere in interior design, so that's really good. And they have colours at the bottom. This is brilliant if you get things like this. And then, so you want to get that, and then you want to pick something of your own to make your collection different. So you might want to pick architecture. You might think, well, I had a really good holiday in Morocco, so I want to use that. If you go away anywhere, or if you go and see a museum, you know, you go and see a show, you can do some sketches just around that, and then you could add that into your collection. Maybe you want to add in Turkey. I did that one year. So you could add in that into your collection. So I've got a few trends here which I was looking at for last year, just to give you an example. So here we've got one here which is sort of slightly Moroccan look. You can pick different elements of that, or the overall theme you can use on your collection, your piece. But if you have a look closely, then there could be different patterns in there that you could actually use to create your shapes. The colours, obviously, this is quite wild. I love this headpiece up here. Stripes, you know, spots were in. You could use that. I'm loving this here, lots of feathers, so that's quite cool. Same year, this one, a bit more ethnic, but also I like to look at these different patterns that are going on in here, because this could influence your work when you put in the design. Oh, and look at this massive piece up here, so that's really cool. And here, a bit more Aztec-y. So this is just from Pinterest, and you know, printing these off, really good. And you can see the colours up there as well, so you can see the different colours that are going on. So you could just pick if you want your bold bright colours or your slightly more muted colours. Another one here is on, see that, it's on more interior design, so that's a really good thing to look at as well. So I'm loving this chair, I'm loving all these circles and patterns and stripes and things that are going on here, and loving this as a texture. So also you want to put lots of textures in, and think about maybe 3 that you want to use. Here I've got a great shape. Oops. Excuse me, sorry about that. Back again. A great shape here, which I think is brilliant for hats. You might not need that for your bag design, but if you're a jewellery designer, then that could really work. So you've got the sharp shapes here. You can use feathers, or you could actually maybe cut things out of metal, or you know, using wire, or using cinema strips, using plastics, and cut these shapes out. So, or you could just keep the whole fluid shape. So I like things like that, so I would mix that in with all my other bits and pieces that I've got here. Look in magazines. You don't have to look at the You know, it could be a winter magazine, it could be a spring magazine, but if you're designing at that time, just look in a few, because this one here, I'm not sure, Giorgio Armani here, I'm loving these stripes that we've got on here and the way the fabric is cut to release the green underneath, and this here, so this could be made out of leather, could be, you know, satin, could be silks. That would be really interesting. This piece going up here in this section, maybe this section here, that could be good on a hat. That could actually be a bag, couldn't it? This bit here. So I think it's so fascinating to be looking at other people's work. This is another one that I like because of the leaves, which is then going with this one. And you can pick the shapes. You know, I could put twigs in hats, even the dress here, the different patterns, lines and shapes that we've got going on here. And this is what you'd also do if you're designing a hat for a client. You'd be looking at her dress, seeing the cut, and then designing your hat around it. So I could use that, I could flip that upside down. This could be my shapes. I could have this shooting out of a hat here, I could have quills going up here. Maybe I want to take this section here, this could be a hat. If the head was here, this could be shooting up, could be a bag, this could be another bag, this could be a necklace. So you can just take things and think laterally and go a bit weird. So you want to get all of these different bits together and your inspirations and then start designing. So this here, I suppose, is from a sort of this swampy look that we've got going on here. I started sketching this one. So this here could be green, and you've got, this is the moss, and then this is the ivy creeping up, if you can see that. This underneath here could be parasite or straw or cinnamon. We've got floating fabric in the back. That would be cinnamon, so that would be a whole shape, which could be a leaf shape. So a lot of my things are quite organic. I think this was going on for a winter look here. So this one here, we've got another shape. I'm loving organic shapes. I love flowers, I love leaves, I love twigs, I love anything from nature. I suppose I grew up on a farm years ago, so all of this comes back to me now, even though I'm living in the city now. I love the city, but I love the countryside as well. This is obviously from a twig, a tree, so you know, that could be made out of metal, or it could be made out of wood and put on as well. Another shape down there. This was starting off with a few sketches, and then I ended up using a kaleidoscope to get those shapes, and then got this here. So this could be turned around. This could be jewellery, or this could be hats, anything really you prefer. So I go from there, sketch them out, then work out which fabrics I'm going to use. Maybe I use cinnamon, I use parasite or straw. You work out what you want to use, and then you need to just test it out and start working. But you know, you're going to start making it, and then it might change. Millinery, that's great, because you start on something, you realise that it might not be working actually in 3D on the head, so you need to keep trying it on and putting it up. But then if it's not going to work, then you can change it, and you can end up with something completely different, but really exciting, but still has your elements of your, you know, your predictions that you've got in. Still got a few of those elements in, but it could be different, and that is okay, that is acceptable. So you want to start creating, so you're going to have 10 pieces, start making those. They might change, alter, make your 10, and then narrow it down to the best ones. And then have a look at those again, make sure all your stitching's fine, make sure they've been manufactured properly, make sure you're happy with those, and then you could maybe make 3 in each colour. So if you had, maybe you had 5 different designs, then you could have one in green, one in blue, one in pink. That's one style. Same with that style, same with that style. Maybe you just want 4, and then you times that by 3 different colours, you know, and you end up with your 8, 12 different pieces, and then that's your collection. This hat I've got in the back here, that's quite leaf and quite sculptured, so that again is similar to maybe these shapes here, which are quite sculptural, which I like to do. So they're just quickly there. I hope that helps. Please leave comments below if you want to learn anything else, or if this has helped, or if it hasn't helped, or if you, what else you want to learn, what else you want to know, maybe about designing or business or anything else. And above I'll have the link to the Inspiring Creative Women website. Please join that. I'll have more blogs on there, and I look forward to speaking to you tomorrow. Have a good evening. Thanks. Bye.